What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video. Okay, we have a stimulus check update. This is excellent news. Okay, I don't think I've ever said excellent news, but this is really, really good news that I want to share with you guys today. It's about Lindsey Graham. He has a proposal when it comes to enhanced unemployment. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And it's early in the morning right now. Later on, we'll know some more information about this. He had a press conference yesterday, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the press conference, and then I'll come back and I'm going to break it down. So I'm going to break down all the different issues. Some of this stuff we might know later on today, but some of this stuff we might not. Like at the very end, I'm going to let you know there's something that can derail this whole thing, and I'll let you know about that at the very end. But let's watch the video first. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Senator, can we talk about the stimulus package more broadly? The negotiations, to put it lightly, do not seem to be going very well. What's the latest on that on your end, and what are you doing to reach compromise
Secretary
there?
Mnuchin last night, I talked to the president. I expect a breakthrough because when it's needed. Usually politicians respond to need. There's a real need out there. If you're unemployed still because of the coronavirus, I'm okay with a federal supplement to state benefits. I just don't want you to get paid more not to work than to work. So I support continuing a federal supplement to state unemployment benefits, but it can't be at $600 because we've skewed the labor market. There's help wanted signs all over where I live, and under the current construct, you're making $47,000 a year in unemployment. There's school teachers who don't make that in South Carolina. So I want to replace your wages up to 100% of what you were making, but not pay people more in unemployment than they were making at their job site. So we're going to have to reconfigure that. There has to be some liability protection. If you're going to open your business back up and you follow the guidelines, you shouldn't be sued. So there's some negotiations to be had. But to me, reshaping the unemployment benefit to continue to help people but not pay more in unemployment than you made when you were working is very important to me.
This question of the percentage of wage replacement, that's been something some Republicans have really advocated for. Others have warned that the states aren't equipped to do that kind of
this
math.
The 21st century, enough already. When you go into the unemployment office, you have to say, here's my employer, here's how long I've been working, and here's what I make. All I'm saying is I want to replace your wages but not give you a pay raise. There are people making 150% unemployed benefits as to what they were making at the work site. That's not fair to people continuing to work. Essential workers are making $17, $18 an hour working in a hospital, making $23 an hour not to work, disincentivize work. So I think you can come up with technology to reimburse people at up to 100%, not more. At the state level, the $324, I believe it is close to that, per week is 50%. The goal of state unemployment benefits is to replace 50% of wages up to a certain level. What we've done here is we've far exceeded that. We're 150%, and I don't mind federal supplements continuing. As a matter of fact, I want them to, but the ceiling should be your actual wages. And I'll be introducing an amendment tomorrow to do that and give the states another 30 or 45 days to come up with that technology, but we've got to get there.
The White House proposal had been 70%. So you're saying
I'm willing to,
going higher?
I'm the first Republican to go to Democrats and say, let's do something on unemployment insurance. Because I know that 324 is the benefit here. And, let's help people because they no fault of their own. They're out of work. If you're working in a hotel or a restaurant or a lot of service industries, because of the COVID restrictions, you really lost your job. I never envisioned we would do what we've done. Unemployment benefits are annual salary of $47,000. Now, there are a lot of people in our state work hard that don't make $47,000. If that becomes the new minimum wage, you're going to put a lot of people out of business. So I just want to sit down with Democrats and say, come on now, 100%, I'm willing to do that because this is kind of a national emergency. But if you go over 100% of wages, you're really disincentivizing work at a time when people are ready to open up their business. I hear from employer after employer, I've got a problem. I can't get my workers back. They're making more unemployed than I can afford to pay them. I'm afraid to terminate their unemployment because they'll get mad at me. This is just a real problem. We need to fix it.
Will the rest of your Republican colleagues go on board with that?
I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is that the proposal by Mnuchin in the the Senate package was $200. That was about 70%. I'm willing to go up to 100%. I don't know how many Republicans would go there. I'm hoping Democrats would say that's reasonable. The $600 federal supplement exceeds what you were making in the workplace for 70% of the workforce. 70% of the people receiving unemployment benefits are making more unemployed than they did working. And that's skewing the entire economy. 70% of the people receiving unemployment benefits are making more unemployed than they did at the work site. We need to fix that.
So what do you guys think? It sounds pretty good, right? I mean, it sounds like you can't pass up on this opportunity. It looks like it. Everything looks like it's going to be good. We have to see what his proposal looks like, his amendment. We have to see what that looks like. We're going to break it down right now. But before we do, please hit that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And I'm really trying to get back into that algorithm right now. So if you could hit that like button, I really appreciate it. If you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the time frame. So we need to know, how long is this going to be for? That we don't know yet. Obviously, we'll find out more information later on today. So hopefully we'll have a better time frame. Once he announces everything, then I will do another video, just a follow-up video. But right now we need to look at time frame. Will it be until the end of the year? Are we looking at, I can't see it being for 2 to 3 months. It has to be longer than that, only because we're looking at election time, right? So you don't want to have it end right before the election or anything like that. So they're probably going to have this go until the end of the year. So I think that's good. Cap. So what is the cap going to be? Because now the argument here, we all know that some people are making more on unemployment than they're making in the regular job. And so if you have it at 100%, I don't think many people can argue about that, right? However, what about people who make more in their regular job than they do on unemployment? So where's the cap? You're going to have a cap somewhere, because if I'm making $100,000 a year and then I go on unemployment, I'm making less on unemployment than I made in my regular job. So where do you cap that off? So that will be interesting to see too. Is it going to be $600? Is it going to be $500? How are we going to find that out? So another thing he was talking about is the 50%. Now you saw 50%. He was saying that 50% is that $324. That's in his state. I think that's the easiest way to kind of figure out what 100% is, right? So if a state uses that as their guideline, so 50% of your salary, well, then it's easy to double that up, and then there's your 100%. So it might not be as hard as some people think as far as the unemployment offices being able to calculate these numbers. But nonetheless, he said he'll give them 30 to 45 days to try to figure this all out. I'm sure there'll be some additional funding that will be going to the unemployment offices to try to, update their systems and stuff like that. So that's good. Now the support. Now this is pretty funny, because you saw that he kind of laughed a little bit when it came to support. He already knows that we have like 1/3 of Republican senators are not even for another stimulus package. So they don't even want to hear about this. This is not anything that they'll be interested in. However, Democrats would be interested in this. I mean, this is one of those deals. If it's 100%, you can't say no to that. Like they're getting their salary for however many months, and we'll have to figure that out. But they're getting their salary. You can't say no to that, right? And so I think you'll have Democrats on board for this. This is one of those deals where, yeah, this could definitely work. I don't think anyone wanted it to be where people are making more on unemployment than they make in their regular job. No one wanted it to be like that. The only reason they did that, the only reason they had the $600 per week, is because they didn't know how to calculate it. And they didn't know if the unemployment offices would be able to calculate the percentages. And that's the only reason they did it that way. So yes, I don't see people saying no to 100% of your salary. I really don't. So we'll have to see. When it comes to the numbers, if we look at it in the Senate, if it comes to the numbers, we have 53 Republican senators. We have 45 Democratic senators. We have 2 independent senators that caucus with the Democrats. So to break it down, you have 47 that'll vote on the Democratic side, and then you have 53 that'll vote on the Republican side. That's if they're split along parties. But if you're looking at this, we already know 1/3 of the Republicans are not voting for another stimulus package. So we can take them out of the equation. So 15 to 20, take them out of the equation, and then look at the Democrats. So the goal here is to get a filibuster-proof majority. So you want to be in the 60s when it comes to your numbers. However, I can't really see any politician filibustering a stimulus package. I just can't see it. So even if, and when I say filibuster, I mean stalling. So what they do is they come on to the Senate floor and they just pretty much make up a day where they just talk about a variety of different things. They read out of a phone book or what have you, just to stall for time. I can't see that happening in a situation like this where you have people that are starving, that need money and things like that. So I can't really see the filibuster being in play when it comes to this. So the reality is all you need is a majority. You just need 51 votes. And so that's, I mean, you want to get it to where it's filibuster proof, but you don't absolutely need that in this situation, in my opinion. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, what can derail this whole thing? And what could derail this whole thing? Is it going to be a skinny bill? Is this just going to be enhanced unemployment and the eviction moratorium? Is that all that's going to be in this bill? Because if that's the case, Democrats are not going to be interested in that, because Democrats want a full bill. They want to add the stimulus checks in there. They want to add some of this other stuff, hazard pay and things like that. So if you have it where it's just the two things, the two items, that's not going to work. That's not going to work for Democrats. So we're going to have to see how they maneuver and what they do with this. I think this is a great idea. I think this should have happened a long time ago, and this could have been something that they discussed in June and then had it automatically change over in July. But nobody wanted to deal with it at that point, so now we're dealing with it. I think it's a good idea. I just think you're going to have to add more to it, because if you start doing piecemeal, you already know that Democrats are not for this whole piecemeal thing. So we're going to have to see where that goes. But I want to know what you guys think. So in the comments below, let me know what you think. Do you think it's a good plan? Do you think a skinny bill is appropriate? The only problem with skinny bills, you have to understand this, if they just do that skinny bill and they don't put a stimulus check in there, so it's just enhanced unemployment and it's just the eviction moratorium, no stimulus check, then guess what? That stimulus check won't even be looked at again until September, because they're going on recess. After this week, they're going on recess. So it won't even be looked at again until September, and things can change in September, and we might not see a stimulus check at all. So let me know down below what you think about this whole proposal, and what you think. Do you think we should go with the full bill, or you think we should go with the skinny bill? So that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you're new here, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.